Hello. I'm not sure how to get rid of whatever here's on the bottom, but hopefully you can see me okay. Um, Welcome and thank you to my friends, family, supporters, and an extra welcome and thank you to my subscribers who make this YouTube journey just a little bit more pleasant and encouraging. So if you haven't already, like, subscribe, um, comment. It just makes this a little bit less work when I have to put this together. Now onto the content that you signed on to watch. Um, New money issues at the fairgrounds, it sounds like. You decide. I'm going to let you be the decision maker on this one. I felt this was worth bringing to the public because it's important due to past similarities in accusations that were made of theft, misuse of funds, or even some called it embezzlement surrounding the Bonner County Fairgrounds. So here we go. This is for you to decide. I'll try to stick to the facts, and when I know it's an opinion, I'll go ahead and stick that in there and let you know. So a public records request. Some people call those FOIAs, Freedom of Information Act. When you're working at the local level, it's called a public request record or public records request. So from here on in, I'm going to refer to those as PRRs. A recent one revealed that large sums of money were being paid to a contractor of the fairgrounds. A contractor being someone who's very, very part-time, just provides a simple service, or maybe not so simple, but a direct service to the fair board. This particular person is providing a bookkeeping service. They're provided with a laptop. In fact, this laptop used to belong to the former fair manager that many know, Darcy Smith. So she has her laptop, older laptop, and provides bookkeeping services for the fairgrounds, something that used to be done or was supposed to be done by the fair manager and now is done by this contract person who's paid to do that. A PRR contract revealed that the fair board has with this person and her title as fair board treasurer. So I'm going to see here if I can pull up the extra camera and show you what that contract looks like. So let's see here how well that works. And I've never used this before, so I'm going to give it our best shot. I'd like you to be able to see what that looks like. Document camera. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to get this to work or not. It's called a swan, and the swan does not seem to want to work. So I think I need to practice with that a little bit more. Well, I'm going to try this. I don't know if it's going to work, but right here is the contract, and this is not ideal, but it's independent contractor agreement, and you'll see where I highlighted the date is August 7th, 2023, and you'll see the compensation of the contractor is the sum of $75 per hour for setup and $1,000 per month to be paid on a monthly basis. So this is not ideal, but you can see the contract right here. And I can upload this contract to the Facebook page, North Idaho Revelations, so you can read it in its entirety. And it goes on to say what her duties are. So anyways, I can get that to you. I'm not sure how to upload to this page yet. Again, I'm a newbie, so I will get that to you on the other Facebook page that goes along with this YouTube. So we have that. And then I requested all contracts for her. And this was the only one they supplied. And it's interesting to notice that when I requested this information, it took them I had to ask for it more than 3 times. And statutorily, they're supposed to get it to you within 3 days. If they can't, they're supposed to provide you with a letter or notice saying that it's going to take them up to 10 days. I didn't get any notice. I had to request it more than 3 times. It took them a few weeks to get it to me. So I'm not sure what that was about. Upon receipt of the September 2024 profit and loss statement, there was a payment for accounting and legal in the amount of $12,500. So that would be her payment of $1,000 and whatever legal stuff. So that got me wondering, because I'd also seen on some prior profit and loss statements and so forth that a check for $5,000 to her, and I didn't understand that. So that prompted me to request all payments made to that individual treasurer. So I received that next. Well, let me back up. When I received the legal and accounting for $12,500, I'm going to hold that up for you as well. You'll notice this is for September 2024, as you see at the top there. So for legal and accounting, there was a payment for $12,500. Well, if you look a little closer here, it also shows September 2023, and the payment for that month was just a little over $5,000. So that number was $5,681.25. So that was quite a difference. And so I wanted to know why that difference was there. And so I requested just a payment sheet of all payments made to that contractor in the last 6 months. And what I found was astounding to me. And I'm going to hold this up. I'm going to hide her name just for her privacy at this time, although a public information request where you could pull that up yourself. Payments made to her in the last 6 months, and I'm going to try and show this to you again, are in the amount of $5,000 a month. So in the last 6 months, she's made $30,000 as a contract bookkeeper. Wow, 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 wow. Contract bookkeeper making $30,000 a month from the fairgrounds with a contract that says $1,000 a month. And you'll notice on here that it says bill. So each month there's a bill for $5,000. Well, if you've attended the fairground meetings, or if you look up online under the minutes, there's a section where the fair board has to approve all the monthly bills. So the fair board is approving the bill for her for $5,000 every month. And that's how she's being paid. And that's up to as recent as March of 2025. So she has a contract for $1,000. She's billing $5,000 and the fair board is approving it. So what's the $4,000 a month for? And why is it being approved? And why is there no contract? So she's being paid 5 times what was originally agreed upon. So is that not similar to the same things that was occurring back when Darcy Smith was the manager? The fair board was signing blank checks and telling her to pay things with it, and she was. The board was approving expenditures and hiring of people, even if it wasn't what was the status quo, and she was doing it. And then one day they decided they didn't like any of that or her, and they called the police chief and filed charges of theft, embezzlement, misuse of funds. Now that last statement about them not liking it and turning her in is definitely an opinion. Some would argue it's fact, but because I stated it, I'm going to say it's an opinion. What we do know, though, is at some point they called Chief Kuhn and said that there was theft, misuse of funds, or embezzlement occurring. I don't know about you, but if there's a contract for $1,000 and this person's being paid $5,000 a month, there's $4,000 a month missing. We have this person making $60,000 a month as a contractor when the full-time staff in the office, let's look at their wages. The fair manager doesn't make a whole lot more than that $60,000 a year, and he's full-time with tons of responsibilities. The office staff are barely making $60,000 a year. Some are not even making that. So this contractor is making way more than what their contract says, or taking way more than their contract says, under the guise and approval of the Fair Board. This Fair Board that's been approving this, half of them are the same Fair Board that were there when Darcy Smith was there, that turned her in and supported the allegations of misuse and theft of Fair Board funds. Add to this, when all of this came out and the Fair Board was told they need to account for this and could not provide a more current contract, the former vice president of the Fair Board, a very long-term Fair Board member and supporter of the fairgrounds, turned in her resignation. You heard that right. Turned in her resignation when this all came out this week. Timing? Coincidence? Maybe. You decide. We won't know unless we ask her and she tells us the truth. I'm not going to be the one to ask because it's not for me to ask. But maybe some of you can ask. I don't know. So the next question I have for you is this. Well, let me first tell you this. On a personal note, I love fairs. I absolutely love fairs. All fairs. When I'm not at a fair and it's fair season, I'm traveling to other fairs to absorb it, support it, spend my money there, visit people I know at those fairs, because a lot of us people know each other from different fairs because we frequent them so much. I love Bonner County Fair. I love Kootenai County Fair. Those are both fairs that are very close to me and near and dear to my heart. I know a lot of the people at those fairs. I want to support Bonner Fair as much as I can. Right now, it's hard for me to soak any money into that fair when I see that they're spending $60,000 a year on a contract that's supposed to be $12,000 a year. Until they can manage the money they already have, I have a hard time giving them more. I say that because tonight is their annual fundraiser, when they ask the community and businesses to come together and support their auction and provide money for their events and their improvements and whatever else they need to do there that isn't already supported by tax levies. I had planned to go. Our family has a business and our family had planned to support the occasion. This just came to light this week. There's no way I can go knowing what I now have information in front of me until there's an explanation for it. And I won't have that by tonight because I need documents to explain it. I can't just accept verbal explanations. I need the proof. Hopefully other people will have more information than I, and they can spend their money there tonight. I suspect there's a lot of people that don't have the information who may spend money and then later regret it. I don't know. If you love the fair and you love it for the kids as much as some people do, then it won't matter to you. And that is important because at the end of the day, it is about the kids. I'm sorry, I can't support that at this time. I will spend my money at another fair or 10 fairs, and so I will still get my money out there for the kids. The frivolous spending, though, needs to stop and the accountability needs to start. This has been a long-term problem at this fair, and oftentimes there's a scapegoat who is used and battered at the end of the day. And I just hope that they don't lose another good fair manager because they chose to use him as a scapegoat again, because that seems to be the pattern, is to take it out on their fair managers. There, hopefully you can see me a little better now. I didn't realize I was in the dark. So here's where the rubber meets the road, folks. Is anyone going to rush and call Police Chief Corey Kuhn and report that there's a misuse of funds, embezzlement, or whatever, like they did back in 2022? And if not, the question is why? That's what they did back a couple of years ago. Half the Fair Board membership is the same as it was back then. And when I spoke to Chief Kuhn about a year ago, he said none of the Fair Board members were investigated. He said at the time they had somebody that was accused. That's who they went after. And after she passed away, they dropped the investigation. It was closed. Why were none of those people looked at? They're the ones who have the final say. And now here they are having the final say again, and we have potentially money missing. So somebody gonna rush out and call him? If not, why? If there won't be a police report, is this just a case of poor record keeping on part of the fair board or the fairgrounds? And if so, is someone going to hold the fair accountable this time? To be clear, the fair manager is not allowed to do anything without permission of the fair board. That's a fact. That's how it's operated. He needs their permission to do anything. Now I'm going to make an opinion statement here, so I just want to preface that. They essentially have crippled any fair manager who tries to think independently. I hope they don't lose another good one as a result. Okay? Some would say that's a fact, but I'll own it as an opinion. They have crippled the fair managers to be able to do anything independently, and that's sad. They've got some good fair managers that are coming through there, and they've got a great one right now, so I hope they don't cripple him to the point where he can't work there. End of opinion. Now you have a lot to consider. What do you think of this situation? And what do you think should be done, if anything? I'd love to hear from you. You have the facts. I've showed you the documents the best I could. If you want me to, leave a comment and I can copy them onto the Facebook page that kind of is the sister to this YouTube. And it is called North Idaho Revelations, and it's on Facebook. Thank you for watching. Please do like, comment, and subscribe. We're still working on another video that follows the last couple in the Darcy Smith story, but I really wanted to get this out to you as well. Thank you. Have a great evening. Remember, go out and love someone this week, and remember that you are someone. Bye now.